Yeah, VGT Adam here. I just watched the Nintendo Direct for February 17th, which is like the first actual, not first actual Direct, like, we've had other Directs, last year, because of what happened last year. We didn't really have, like, big first party, or just really big, like this one, 50-minute long Directs. They were a lot like partner Directs, or Indie Showcase, or stuff like that, which aren't bad, but we didn't get like a full-on just Nintendo Direct in a long time. And for me personally, it was fine. It wasn't bad at all. In fact, I would say it was good. I know some of my friends are hyped about certain specific things, but for me, it was just fine. I'm not being one of those people who's like, oh, I didn't get everything I want, so this sucked. Ugh. I mean, no, that's just dumb. Like, why would you do that? Now, like, there were some things I just didn't care about, sure, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this sucked because I didn't get what I wanted. People have varying tastes. It's how it works. It's how it works every Direct. In fact, people don't learn for this. It's the stupidest shit. Anyway, so the very first announcement was Pyrrha in Smash, and while I'll probably just, look at her a lot, if you know what I mean, I'm probably not going to play her. I really don't care about Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I know people are going to be hyped for this. I'm just not one of them. Her gameplay looks cool. I'm surprised nobody's complaining. I haven't really checked, like, social media or stuff yet, but I'm surprised nobody's really complaining about another sword user. Maybe they are, and I just haven't checked yet. But I will give credit where credit's due. I was legitimately fooled into thinking it was just probably like DLC or an expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because I thought there were too many assets in use for it to be a Smash trailer. And then as soon as Rex and Pyrrha are on Final Destination, it's like, oh, this is Smash. Okay, so I'll give credit where credit's due. I did not see it coming to be a Smash reveal. I knew there was going to be one, but I thought it would be the last thing in the Direct. And the fact that they brought back the mechanic of, like, what Zelda used to have with Sheik, switching characters, and now she switched to Mithra is interesting, because I thought maybe it would be an Echo Fighter or something, but no, it's switching to Mithra instead of Pyrrha, or Pyra, whatever her name is. So I will say, kudos on that one. It's a cool announcement, and it's a cool presentation for it. Legitimately tricked me, so it was good. I'm just not personally excited for it. Next was Fall Guys coming to the Switch. Don't really care. Outer Wilds, I heard it was good. I've never played it, don't know too much about it, but that's coming to the Switch as well. What's it called? Yeah, the Famicom Detective Club. I guess they were games on the Famicom. They're now being remade, completely remade for the Switch, which is cool. They're clearly visual novels. I don't know what the genre is, though. Like, if it's a mystery, or I guess if it's just Detective Club, I guess it is mystery. I don't know, not really my thing, but I like the art style, even though it's, just kind of basic anime, if that makes any sense. Like, think of, like, generic anime art style, and this is kind of it, or basic visual novel art style kind of thing. Yeah, there's two of those coming. Now, there was a video, like, a few weeks ago, that Game Explain put out, like, potential Nintendo Warriors games, and, like, I would actually like more Nintendo-based Warrior games. We have Zelda and Fire Emblem, but I would like more, and one of them they mentioned was Kid Icarus, which would be so cool, and we got half of that. We did get another Warriors game. It's not Kid Icarus, but I'm not expecting, like, Nintendo just all of a sudden drop that. But anyway, we did get another Warriors game, which is Samurai Warriors 5. I don't know if this is a brand new game or it's a port to the Switch. I'm not sure, but it does look great artistically wise. I love the cell shading. Now, this says that it focuses on Nobunaga Oda, but I could have sworn he was in other games, unless I'm confusing it with Sengoku Basara. Speaking of which, anyone who's listening to this, comment below if you played either one. Which is better, Sengoku Basara or Samurai Warriors? Like, in terms of, like, representing the story, the time period, or how they handle the characters, or how they handle the gameplay. Which one's better? Because I know they're both similar games. But yeah, Samurai Warriors is pretty cool. My Warriors experience is very limited. I have a review that talks about two of them, which was Dynasty Warriors 4. I don't have a review for Dynasty Warriors 4. It's just a Berserk review. But I played Dynasty Warriors 4, and then Berserk, and then, recently I played Age of Calamity, which was really good, until I decided to try and 100 complete it, which then made it really bad. So it's overall a good game. It's just 100% completing that is kind of a pain in the ass. I'll come back to Age of Calamity in a bit. But yeah, so Samurai Warriors is pretty cool. I don't know if I'll pick it up, but it's cool. Then there was, what is this one? Oh yes, Legend of Mana. I guess it's either a sequel to Secret of Mana or just another game in the series that's getting ported to the Switch. Pretty cool. Monster Hunter Rise trailer. We got another one. I'm sold in that game. You don't need to sell me anymore. It's funny that like it's Monster Hunter. They're trying to make the story so much more important in like these games, and like nobody cares. Like this is one of those games where it's like you don't really care about the story because the gameplay is just so fun on its own. You just need the excuse to hunt monsters, but they still like have lore and still have story, and they still do try. I give them props for that, and not just giving up on it. But like, there's no point in a story trailer because the story is never like the most gripping thing in Monster Hunter. It's just more of the excuse to introduce the monsters. Like I started on 4 Ultimate, and while I do like the whole like frenzy gimmick, like it was more for just Gore Magala and his gameplay mechanic than for anything else, and just to give us an excuse for like stronger versions of the monsters. And then World Story was fine too. So this one looks, another one that's fine. No, it's not going to win any kind of narrative awards, and it really shouldn't. But I just find it so funny that I was still like trying to focus on it, but at the same time, like don't just give up on it. So a little split on that. What I do find so funny is that like the RE engine is so gorgeous, and the fact that Monster Hunter World was done on like a late version of MT Framework, kind of like the game looks great, but like you can tell, like it's definitely not on a modern engine. It's definitely a reworked engine. Like the game's gonna look bad fairly soon. I'm not gonna say within the next like year or so, but like at a certain point you can tell the game will age because of that. But I've always did want, like, after seeing what RE Engine does for, like, Resident Evil and Devil May Cry 5 and everything, like, how Monster Hunter would look at that. And I did get it. Not the way I was expecting, because Rise is on the RE Engine, but because it's on the Switch, it's kind of limited, graphically-wise. But it does look good. It looks like a good Switch game, especially since the last Monster Hunter game on Switch was just a 3DS port, which definitely looked the part. So this game looks good. You guys have to wait till World 2 to really see how the RE Engine will do that, but it looks good. It's just, it's more Monster Hunter, which is great. Give it to me, please. Especially since, like, my March is getting more and more empty. Then they had, a new Mario Tennis game. Now, the actual tennis part, I couldn't give two shits about, because with sports games, no matter if Mario's in them or not, are just the most boring shit. I like sports games that, like, mix it up a bit, make it completely wacky or just completely unrealistic. Like Mario Strikers Charge or just Mario Strikers in general is awesome because of how over the top it is. Or like say like Mutant League Football. I've never actually played it, but I mean like it's you kill people and tackling them. It's like the coolest thing. Or even if like you do like a NFL Blitz, it's like really arcadey sports games. The ones that are like Madden or NFL or FIFA or all the really realistic ones I don't care about. And when it comes to like the normal tennis in this game, it's dumb. I don't care. But then there's also tennis, golf. The normal golf in this game is bad. I don't care. But then there's also speed golf, right? Yes, speed golf. And that was cool, where after you launch the ball, you have to actually follow past it. It's not just automatically you're going to the next one. You have to actually go to it. And it's kind of like Mario Kart on foot, in a way. It's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I'll pick it up, but I mean, if I'm ever playing at a friend's house, when society gets back to normal, or normal-ish, yeah, I that could be fun. I wouldn't want to play the normal golf one, but speed golf would be cool. But yeah, new Mario Golf Super Rush. Then they had, Tales of Borderlands is coming to Switch. The Capcom arcade, what was it called? Arcade Stadium is coming to Switch. Capcom's got some good games. Not gonna, buy individual ones again. I don't think it's worth my time. Stubbs the Zombie on Switch is interesting because I believe wasn't that like an OG Xbox exclusive? And I don't know, maybe got like Xbox Live ports, but I don't know if like it was on any other consoles. And the fact that it's on the Switch of all things is interesting. And I don't know if it's a sequel or just like a remaster or something. But yeah, Stubbs the Zombie. I never played it, but I've heard of it. So. There was another trailer for No More Heroes 3, which, of course, I'm gonna play, obviously. This was, like, the most exciting thing for me. The in-game graphics, I don't know if that's the actual graphics themselves or there was a filter for the trailer, but they seem, like, too bright. Like, let me look through this really quick. My computer's freaking out. Yeah, like Travis's character model looks good, but it's like really bright. Like, you know how the No More Heroes one had the shadows all over everything? It's like they did the opposite and put light on everything, and it looks little weird. Like the character model looks fine, but the lighting looks a little too bright. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Gameplay, I guess I'll have to do a review on this. I mean, I'm obviously going to do a review, but like, it's another camera shift. I have a video on No More Heroes 1 vs. 2, and how it seems like each game has like some kind of camera shift, where the first one is mostly behind the back. 2 was like, it was this weird, at least in combat, it was this weird like angle. Travis Strikes Again was like top down, bird's eye view. And this one's like between No More Heroes 1 and 2, where it's behind your back, but still kind of angled. It's a little weird. The combat is way more No More Heroes. Well, it's not like No More Heroes 1 2, obviously, but it's also like really elaborate animations compared to a lot of the other ones, just like basic swings. These are like a lot more like, I don't want to say character action game, but a lot more character action game. I hate that term. They're a lot more character action. Oh my god, I'm doing so well today. They're a lot more character action gamey animations. They're not just the simple swings that a lot of the previous ones had. They show off some of the bosses, but without the context, it's not really anything. They look cool, I guess, but I'll have to wait to see the game. They did bring back the job system from the first game. Okay, so let me get to negatives of that first. The job system in the first game was stupid. It was for like side quests and things, so you don't just jump from thing to thing. Like the second one, like all the side quests are optional. Well, not side quests, but side objectives are optional. So if you want to play the game, you could, or you can do the side ones. But the first game, it was mandatory to do a lot of the side ones to get money, to go into the rankings. And they brought that back, and I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. Nobody likes that. And I know they're bringing back the overworld, which people are a lot more mixed on too. So this seems a lot more No More Heroes 1 inspired than 2 inspired, which I do prefer 1 over 2, so that should be better. But why did they bring this back? That's the negative. The positive is that while there are some returning things, not only are there new ones, there seems to be a lot more variety. Like, they have the lawnmower one back, they have the pickup trash one back, but they also have something that looks like mining. They have this, looks like this racing thing, which is cool. Looks like I don't know if this is part of the story or not, but it looks like there's like first person horror section, like actually Fatal Frame. It actually looks like a Fatal Frame game, which is neat. There's a turn-based RPG section. I don't know if this is part of the story or not, but if this is part of the side objectives, it might actually make it fun to do those. I don't know. I hope it is. If it's just the normal ones, that would suck. But if those are part of the side objectives, that'd be great. I don't know though. There's of course, the mech section they teased, but this looks like it's for a boss fight. They actually implement oh god, what was the term? Like let's just say the super moves from Travis Strikes Again, the cooldown moves. I'll say that they implement that, which is, in this case, I think it'll be passable because in Travis Strikes Again, they're more of a necessary crutch. Like, your basic attacks didn't do much damage, so you had to kind of rely on those. And I have a video that goes into that kind of, sort of, because I ape off Gaming for his explanation, but whatever. But if the combat is good enough in here, hopefully these are weakened, so they're not as, necessary to win. But they're back, so, I guess that's fine. And they seem interesting. What else was there from the No More Heroes thing? I'm spending more time on No More Heroes than like any other game so far, but it's what I like. It's just how it is. It's coming out fucking in August. At least we have some kind of release date, but alright. There was this, what was it called? Neon White. So I love the art style. I think that's Steve Bloom narrating the whole time. I have to go back and listen to it and not have this on mute. I love the art style. I love the character designs. I don't like the gameplay. As soon as I saw first person, I'm like, I'm out. And then I saw the actual like card system, and I'm like, nope. And while it's cool, that's like gun platforming. That's a cool idea, but first person platforming has always been a hard thing to nail. So doing that with also like some kind of new system is just eh. I'm not gonna judge and say it's bad, but like it's just right now not for me gameplay wise. Because visually wise, this is like my shit. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then there was the DC Superhero Girls game. Now, I couldn't care less about that. I'm clearly not even the demographic for that. I'm not saying guys can't play it, but that's clearly not a thing for, DC Superhero Girls Teen Power, yeah. So, I know one of my friends, Bryce, formerly BK Nolan Nintendopedia, now he's got a new name, Poltergeist FGC, I think, or Geese Ref, whatever. He was BK Nolan Nintendopedia. He called it cringe. I wouldn't say it's cringe. It looks fine. It looks like basic. It's just like the era of those cartoon games, like back in the day when they used to actually have a lot of those. Like now a lot of cartoon games are like on mobile and maybe handheld. We don't really have too many console ones, but like back in the day, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and sometimes Disney too, I think. But like they had like those games, and this is just like another one of those. It's fine. It's basic. In fact, I'd argue it's a little better than the other ones because it seems like it has more content, but it exists. The DC Girls game exists. It's not a cringe. It just is. Plants vs. Zombies, that game has evolved for better and for worse. Better because, like, obviously a lot more work's going into it because there's a lot more, like, gameplay stuff instead of just being basic tower defense. But also worse because EA's involved, and it went from, like, a tactical tower defense to what looks like a battle royale. So, yeah, Battle for Neighbors Complete Edition. It's whatever. Miitopia, I didn't know this was a thing. I know there was the Street Pass that had that RPG minigame, and I guess they actually made a full game off that. It's cool. I probably won't do anything much with it, but it's, me RPG. It's cool. New content for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I was one of the 2 people to not play this game because everybody's playing it, or everybody played it, I guess. So I don't really like. It's cool that the Mario stuff is there, but like it's not for me. So I hope it just gets more content for people who like the game. But okay, it's another thing. Then there was Project, what was it, Triangle Strategy, which looks like basically if Octopath Traveler was kind of like a new take on classic Final Fantasy, then this is a new take on Final Fantasy Tactics. Because it looks like Octopath Traveler. I'm guessing it has to be the developers because it looks the exact same graphically wise, like the sprites and everything, and the look of it looks like that. So I want to say it is them, but this is a little more strategy based. I'm too dumb for strategy, so I don't get it. I'm too dumb for even turn-based RPGs, and I don't know how it's physically possible, but I am. So, not for me. They tease a Star Wars game. And, like, boy, is it a tease, because you see nothing. And, like, when I heard it was multiplayer, I'm like, oh, come on. But I guess I need to see actual footage of it to judge on it. Star Wars Hunters. But that was a full-on tease. You saw, like, nothing. So, then there was this multiplayer dodgeball game, which is cool. I didn't like how the trailer presented it. Like, the gameplay itself was cool and the art style is cool, but, like, having these other quote-unquote game characters playing it, I guess it's supposed to be like anyone can play this game, but I don't know, I found it to be a stupid thing. But yeah, it's a dodgeball game. That's cool. Knox City. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat. Yeah. Then they had a... what's it called? Not the World's... Is it the World's End? World's End Club. Was from the creators of Danganronpa, I think. And then, like, art style that looks like Pokemon for some reason. It seemed like, an adventure game. It's probably going to be more dark than the cute graphics are letting it... are representing, but I don't know much about it. It seems like it could be cool. The next thing they revealed was just the fact that Hades is getting a physical release, which is cool, but also pisses me the fuck off because I'm a person who always loves physical releases. I'm a huge, not fan. I'm a person who thinks like, what's the word? Like, preservation, I guess the word. I'm a person who believes preservation is important for years down the line. So if things are only digital, it's hard to preserve them when at some point they could just disappear forever. But you have the physical version. It's there. It's not going away. You own it. No one's going to come in your house and break it unless there's post-apocalypse and people just break it for no reason. No one's gonna break it, so you have it. So I'm usually more for a person who's like, I won't get a game unless there's a physical version, right? I did the same with Scott Pilgrim. I actually never played the game when it first came out, and that's also the poster boy for digital games, and the fact that like how bad of a system that is, and the fact that like probably within the next 10 to 20 years they might be only digital games and no physical at all pisses me off. But that's not the main thing I'm talking about right now. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim was like the main thing of like why digital games are bad, because they'll be lost of time and great games have been lost, and thankfully that game got resurgence and there's a physical version coming out, so that's good. Now with Hades, I looked into Supergiant's like backlog to see if any of them were physical, and the only one I found was like Bastion, and it came out like 4 years after the initial release. So I was interested in playing Hades, but I didn't know if there was going to be a physical release. So I actually bit the bullet and downloaded it. So I guess I have it now, which is fine. But like, I bit the bullet and downloaded it. I did beat it. I don't know if I'll do the epilogue because I'm kind of getting sick of it as of this recording. Whatever. Anyway, so I actually got kind of pissed when I saw that there's a physical release coming, because like I could have just waited a little longer. I could have waited a month after not even a month, a few weeks after I got the game, and I would have seen the physical release coming out. But point is, I beat the game. Whatever, physical release is there. That means it can be preserved. If people want to play this game, they can. That's great. Kind of pissed that I didn't get a physical, but whatever. It is coming out in March, so it would clash with Monster Hunter and stuff like that. So I wouldn't want to play two of those at once. So I'm kind of glad I finished it. But yeah, I was kind of pissed that there's a physical release, but that's also a good thing there's a physical release. As for my thoughts on the game, like, I probably shouldn't say because people adore this game, but I will say it's good. It's very good. But I will not give the same praise as everyone else. Now, there is a Ninja Gaiden collection coming out for the Switch. I guess because they want to gauge... Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. I guess they want to gauge if people actually want a fourth one, so they're doing this to, like, see if it sells well. The problem is, for Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, they have these Sigma versions. And while the Sigma versions were graphically prettier than the original Xbox, or I guess Ninja Gaiden Black and then the original 360 version of 2, while Sigmas were prettier, they were missing a lot of content. They did add some other content, but like with Ninja Gaiden and Sigma, I think the differences is a little negligible, which isn't a problem. Ninja Gaiden 2 is censored to shit though, because Ninja Gaiden 2 is so gory, one of the goriest games ever, and Sigma 2 really neutered it, and I don't know why. There is Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which is the better version, so that's good. But it's also the worst of the trilogy, so it's like the best version of the worst game. So you're getting two worst versions of good games and the best version of a worst game in a collection. I don't know how well this will do. I think it will sell. I don't know how well it will sell. I don't think it will sell well, but I don't want to jump to conclusions because I took 2 L's today solely when it came to Pyrrha. So I didn't think it was going to be in Smash Bros. And I thought Mithra was an Echo Fighter. That was 2 L's, and I don't want to take a third. So, yeah, it's cool there's a collection coming, but they should have just did Ninja Gaiden Black, and then Ninja Gaiden 2, and then 3 Razor's Edge. It shouldn't have been Sigmas, but that's neither here nor there. I can't speak today. That's neither here nor there. I was talking to people on Discord, and my voice is shot, and I still got other shit to do today, even though it's like 7:30 at night when I'm recording this. Yeah, so... Okay, so like I mentioned before, I was talking about Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So they mentioned an expansion pass, which is not surprising because this is like the best-selling Warriors game of all time, I believe. And like I said, good game, but I also burnt myself out 100% completing it, so I don't know if I will get this season pass or expansion pass. They tease Robbie and Pyrrha, I forget how to pronounce her name, Pyrrha, as playable characters. They don't actually show them, but they tease them. Also, there is a new weapon for Link. I don't know if it's a new weapon class or just literally a new weapon. Like, is it a new sword, a new heavy weapon, or a new spear? Or if it's a new class, that'd be cool. A new costume for him, which I don't know what. It says expanded roster, so we know at least probably 2. I know there was probably a date in mind to show me before, but who knows? Okay, newly added weapon types, but I think those are for the new characters. New challenges in the Royal Ancient Lab, newly added challenging enemies, new character vignettes, newly added stages, expanded roster, new battle skills for existing characters. Okay, so there's some stuff coming. I don't expect story DLC at all, like in the slightest. That would kind of fuck things over. I just don't know if I'll get it because I got so burnt out on the 100%. Like, it is a good game, but if you're going for 100%, you better buckle in for the grind, because boy, is it a fucking grind. And I hate grinds in Warriors games. That's why I actually couldn't get all the characters in Berserk Warriors. I'm not calling them Berserk and Band of the Hog, because that's a stupid name. That's why I couldn't get all the characters in Berserk Warriors, because of how dumb the grinding is. And Wire Warriors wasn't any better. In fact, I'd argue it's actually worse. But whatever. Bravely Default 2, they showed a little more of. They showed more of Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. You know, one of the hardest games ever made is now getting a sequel or a new version or whatever. The art style's a little, I don't know, I guess it fits, but it's a little like motion tweeny, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it's cool. I'm sure a lot of people are going to play it and going to rage and say how games should have an easy mode again, except not for Dark Souls this time. A couple more ports of games. I don't even know what the hell this game is. It is, if I can see the, where's the thing? Where's the title thing? I can't even find the title thing. What the hell? Oh, Saga Frontier. Okay. I don't even care. Okay. Apex Legends coming to Switch. Okay. I mean, I didn't play any of it. Wasn't planning on playing any of it. I know people like it. I don't know if this is going to be a fan base for Switch, but okay. And then Eiji Aonuma comes out and says, hey, no Breath of the Wild 2 news. He actually says no Breath of the Wild 2 news. But they did announce Skyward Sword HD, and it still has motion controls, but there also is a buttons-only version, which is if you prefer that. Haven't played Skyward Sword, always heard mixed things, more like mixed to negative, but they actually said, hey, for Breath of the Wild people, check this out, but no, this is an older game that follows the older convention, so it's like, Breath of the Wild was really, like, innovative, so they had to be like, hey, this is an older one, don't expect it to be Breath of the Wild, so, I mean, it's cool for people who want it, but it's another case of Nintendo, once again, not putting HD collections out and just HDing one by one, and people still buy it up, because it's Nintendo. And then the final announcement was Splatoon 3, and again, people are going to be excited for it, just not my thing, and like, I'm not going to be mad, like, oh god, Splatoon 3, who gives a shit, like, no, people are going to like it, it's going to sell well, it's going to do well, but it's just not for me. Like, personally for me, it was, I mean, if I liked Pyrrha, if I liked the Xenoblade, Pyrrha would have been one, but for me, it's No More Heroes and Monster Hunter, I think, more or less. Samurai Warriors, I mean, I might take a look at, I don't know if I'll buy it, but like, it's mostly just No More Heroes and Monster Hunter for me. That's pretty much it. That's my own personal stuff. I'm not saying that the rest of the director's back because it didn't have interest in me. That was mine. That was me. I am curious though, like, what they have planned for the rest of the year. Like, besides the games, like how they're going to handle E3, what other conferences we're going to have from other companies. I'm just kind of curious what this year is going to bring for us, but yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct and my thoughts on it. Feel free to leave angry comments below, or do what you do best and leave no comments. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Yeah, I'm gonna go figure out how to talk. I'm gonna go figure out how to talk. Okay.